Hi Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to Ethernal Realms and welcome to your December reading. So we have an overall message over here and then we get into the top 3 highlights you're encountering in this month ahead. Then we get into your tarot, your oracle, blessings and astro dice. So let's see what's coming up for you in December. We have Moonset ready as the first message, and this symbolizes that you're ready to take action, you're feeling motivated, you're inspired, you have ideas, you have the resources and so on. It's sort of also taking stock of things. It's sort of a Monday vibe, not in the typical sense where we're like, ugh, Mondays, but in the sense that you're ready to begin the week, you have taken stock, you've rested and so on. So it can also be that for some of you, you're taking the rest right now so you can ready some plans in the backdrop. Okay, so let's see some more context with the top 3 highlights. Highlight number 1, we have bird perched, waiting for news, package, or letter. Okay, so you might be waiting for the results of something to come in, and that deciding which way you head down the line. So let's say for the next year, you might be wanting to get into a particular college and you might be waiting for an acceptance or a rejection letter so that you can plan ahead. Something of that sort where you're waiting. Okay. The next highlight, we have strong emotion, passionate love or hate. Okay, we're gonna have to take a look at that. But fire just symbolizes that you are very, very passionate and driven towards something. Fire is also an action-oriented card, and it wants to feel very driven by the task itself. It wants to generate inspiration by itself. So there are many kind of creative ideas that come through when we talk about fire, and that kind of spurs you into action there. Okay, then the third highlight we have is casket, someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. Yeah, so whatever this news coming in here, this is kind of making you ready for the next phase of your life, and that automatically means that something is closing out. It can also refer to the year ending, and you're thinking about the entire year. There is a form of reflection and also acknowledgement and acceptance of everything that has occurred in this entire year. So let's get some more details and context into these cards. We have the first card coming through as the Knight of Wands. Yeah, this can talk about travel and movement. This talks about spontaneity, and that fire card that we got there, it's being re-emphasized here. So it's about like impulsive, not in a negative way so far, but it can be that you're impulsively deciding to take a day trip and go out with people that you don't generally socialize with, and you're unexpectedly, to your nice surprise, you're having a great time. That sort of vibe I'm getting. So impulsivity in the sense of being spontaneous. This also talks about having a lot of creative inspiration. It can also be going out and doing unusual things so that you are inspired to act or write or whatever it is you do. This is just like let loose and have fun type of vibe coming through. So that's amazing. Next, we have the Two of Swords. Okay, this is the card of not knowing. Like, I don't know which way to go. There's a card of choice and also of not knowing which way to go. So a dilemma could pose in front of you, but it can also be this bird perched that we saw earlier, like you don't know the outcome of a situation, so you're kind of confused about which way you should plan. Let's say you have to travel in January, and you want to know for sure if your plans are still on, but you might not get a response and you're kind of waiting for that. So in the meantime, you're like, so do I do something or not? It can of course be more internal as well, where you're confused about the direction you want to choose. Perhaps you're being called by 2 different options of an idea or a place or a person, and you don't know what is your priority at this point, or what should be the priority at this point rather. But the good thing about this card is that an intuition, an active intuition, and engaging with that is going to solve the problem, because the dilemma occurs when we try to rationalize everything, and sometimes we don't have all the logical details to make a very informed choice. But given that we still have to make a choice, we have to rely on our intuition at that point. So tuning into that is going to help you out. Another message I get here with the Two of Swords is that you don't need to know each and every detail in order to make a choice at the moment. So do what makes you feel happy and passionate, and it's sort of like then you don't regret a choice or a situation here. Then we have Four of Swords, which is, okay, taking a break here. It could be an introspection, meditative time, and that's how you could be tuning into your intuition. But it can be kind of sleeping on a decision because you're not able to make a choice in haste. It can also be contemplating the ideas you have. It can be taking stock of your energy, not expending too much. You're being social, but at the same time, you're taking rest. So I think that's pretty good balance here. You can be surrounded by things that you very much feel comfortable with, because Four of Swords is about comfort and cozy vibe. So getting warm, getting cozy, and kind of doing things which are in your comfort arena. That way you feel more inspired to go out there and do something spontaneous. It's sort of like if your entire life is about change and dynamic, then what you crave is rest. But if you're only resting, then what you crave is movement, right? That's like the constant dilemma of the human condition, I suppose. We want something that we do not have, right? So I like that in your reading in December, you're having both, you're doing both, and I see you balancing it, although you might not feel like it in that moment because of this one confusion there. Okay, then next we have the Devil. This can talk about overindulgence, can talk about that strong emotion that you have, love or hate. It can be relating to toxic situations. If you're looking for love, this is not really a long-term love situation, but there can be some suitors who are attracted to you, or you're trying to attract, but it does not seem to be very constructive for the future. Okay, so that's just a warning. Take it or leave it, because the Knight of Wands is very like quick in and out, and the Devil is also like kind of can be manipulative, or it can be very obsessive, and it kind of makes no sense and clouds your judgment and things of that nature. So it can be that you're very, very passionate towards someone and you feel kind of tied to the person or the situation there. But it does, you might need to take a break from that. Some of you could be taking a break from relationships as a whole because you need to work through some tendencies or choices or patterns that have come up for you. You might not yet know how to proceed from this point on, so you're kind of resting and recuperating. The Devil, it can talk about intoxication. So, it's December, there are festivals, so perhaps you're having a bit much fun. Once in a while, I suppose that is okay. It's just up to your discernment, of course. But the Devil can signify that. Then we have the Sun, which is a very happy, successful, and optimistic card. It is about cheer up. There are good things coming in here. There is a lot of brightness and positivity here. So I love that that's there. Even though we had the cloudiness of the Two of Swords and the Devil. So what that tells me is that your intuition is shining very bright, and you will find the light. It's not like you're forever stuck or something. You know the truth of a situation. It's sort of like, I know I'm aware of being indecisive, for example, right? I'm aware that I'm indecisive and I'm struggling with that at the moment, right? So that awareness would be the Sun, and the indecision could be the Two of Swords. Therefore, from experience, I know that I need to sleep on it and go do something that would take my mind off the situation. That way I will know what to do when I come back. So it can be in that manner as well that these cards make sense for you. What else? What else am I getting here? The passionate love or hate, it could actually go both ways. Honestly, it's going to depend from person to person. You might be getting rid of someone who is very toxic in your life and you feel very liberated and like you are now peaceful. The Four of Swords is a very peaceful card here, is prioritizing that instead of some drama or upheaval. So anyone who kind of comes in and creates drama for you, or you get wrapped up in someone else's business and you don't want to anymore, you might make it very clear that that's not something that you want to be involved in, but you might be confused about how you can convey the message. For those of you who are waiting literally for a news or a letter to come in, you could get very paranoid around that time while you're waiting. And like I said earlier, that you have peace and intuition, but you might not feel like that's the case in the month. But in reality, it's like working out in your favor, and it's sort of you're thinking about it too much, and that's kind of obvious when we're waiting for something that has long-term impacts, right? But yeah, you're still going out and you're still having fun, and you're kind of refreshing your mind as well. So it's not all that you're dealing with, of course. It can also be an intentional thing, like you send a message to someone, but then you don't know how they're taking it, and you might think about it a bit too much. That's also possible. Okay, so take it as it resonates. It's going to be different for everyone's situation. Okay, so your oracle cards. We have fall in love with your own story. Okay, so again, there can be this sense of reflection at the end of the year where you're thinking of kind of taking stock of everything that has happened, and how much you've developed, how your life has developed, and so on, what type of people have been there around you, who were fair weather friends, etc. It's just kind of a look back and a nostalgic type of feel, but it's looking at it from a very wonderful perspective, right? You're falling in love with your own story. Like, yeah, you know what? I'm in the right place at the right time, with the right people and the right surroundings, and having the right prospectives, for my future here. And I don't have to worry too much about what is not yet here, because there's already so much that I have right now. So the Four of Swords can be, in that sense, giving a lot of thanks and feeling very blessed, and you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna rest here, even if there are things that I don't know. It's okay, I'm not gonna worry too much about that, and I'm just gonna have fun here. Okay, then, oh wow, okay, so we have gratitude again. So practicing gratitude can be very helpful for you. It can help you manifest some results that you are waiting for or are desiring. It's just giving thanks and letting the universe know that you have received, and you know that you've received support, love, acknowledgement, etc. So that can kind of help magnify your vibe and kind of show you what you really deserve in life, not being stuck with things that are just not you, for example. So in that way, with the casket, it's sort of like finish, it's done, it's over. Okay, someone going out of your life or the end of a situation, and I'm feeling like you are closing the situation, but you might not have some feedback from the person or the company or whatever it is that you're wanting to close the chapter with. So if you're sending a letter of resignation, you might not hear back until quite some time. So you might be worried, like, okay, so am I still working there or not? Like, it's kind of a question mark, right? Yeah, that can happen, but again, you're not taking it too deeply. Okay, then we have friendship and gratitude. Okay, gratitude coming up once more. It says, let us be grateful for the people who make us happy. They are the charming gardeners who make our souls blossom. Yeah, so you're very thankful for the support you have had throughout the year, and you're probably expressing that to them. And yeah, the people who have been there with you are kind of there with you even now, and they're celebrating with you. That's what I'm feeling there. All in all, it looks very good, right? You have good friends there. Okay, then we have rebirth and new beginnings. Yeah, this corresponds with that casket there, which also relates with the death and rebirth. So there is this form of transformation here. It can be referring to the transformation you've already gone through this year, and also that December is a month when you think in a different manner, or you find an inspiration or an answer, a sense of clarity that helps you change the direction of your life, or to change the type of people that you are attracting. Okay, again, depending on what your area of focus is at this point in time. Oh yeah, the quote over here is, new beginnings are often disguised as painful endings. Yeah, so it can be a toxic situation or an obsession, addiction, something of that sort. Either it is internal or external that is, leaving your life. And it, of course, when addictions are being released, it's not the easiest, most pleasant journey. So it can feel a little bit painful in that way, but at the same time, you know very, very clearly that this is in your best interest, so you're letting it go. That's what I keep getting. I don't think you're circulating in this thought process for very long, although the resolution can come towards the mid of the month. Okay, so let's get you your astro dice, see what you have. So Gemini, please, December. We have 10th house, Libra, and Saturn. Oh, okay. Could be kind of leaving a toxic work situation or a restrictive boss somewhere, someone who's supposed to be a partner but is becoming more dogmatic, very conservative, not allowing much growth for the company. This is most applicable if you are in a business of sorts, or partnering up with someone, or working with one other person. What else? It can also be a father figure or an authority figure of sorts, so a boss or a father. Yes, it can be. For some of you might have met this. We're talking about partnerships here, okay? So this toxicity that we are talking about, you could meet this person at work, could be an authority. Or this has been going on for a while and you're kind of like, this does not work. It can also talk about a traditional relationship. Perhaps that's what you're looking for, and you're making that very clear. The 10th house is like everything is clear in that house, okay? It's the public house, so everyone can see it very clearly. You don't have to try to do something or be something or someone or whatever. It's just something you do, and it is just visible to the outside world. So I feel that the clarity is there, and if someone is kind of like, I'm not in it for the short haul, for the long run, then you're like, but I don't want a friends with benefits situation, or I don't want to have anything temporary here. That goes for a working company as well. Like, I need a permanent position instead of a temporary role. I don't want to be an intern anymore, for example. Right, so there is a sense of stability and permanence that you're looking for, but at the same time you might be wondering, like, is it too rigid perhaps? Maybe I should get some sort of flexibility, and if so, what is the measure? So trying to determine what would be the right balance for you, I think that's the only struggle that I'm seeing here with the Two of Swords and the Devil there. But seeing the Knight of Wands, Four of Swords, and the Sun, it's like you're achieving the right point here where you can enjoy your freedom and spontaneity, but at the same time have something very stable that you can bank on. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Geminis. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope the messages resonated and that they help you out. Let me know your thoughts, and if you want a personal reading, you can reach me via Etsy. The link is in the description. I will see you some other time. Until then, take care. Bye.